Welcome friends to the Ribble Valley, a picturesque and historic area in Lancashire, England, known for its rolling hills, charming villages and stunning countryside. Named after the River Ribble, which flows through the region, it is part of the Forest of Bowland area of outstanding natural beauty. It's no surprise that it is a popular destination for walkers, cyclists and nature lovers. Today our trip is taking us amongst all this to the charming village of Mellor, which sits on the outskirts of Blackburn and is in a really good spot for various attractions which we'll go into later. Our home for this episode is a 17th century coaching inn known as the Millstone at Mellor, and which promises heartwarming hospitality, home-cooked AA rosette food and modern boutique bedrooms. In this episode, we're going to share with you our stay here at the Millstone, giving you a peek at what it has to offer. But as regular visitors to this channel will have come to realise by now, it wasn't long before a normal hotel review turned into a fascinating history exploration. And it all started when we decided to explore the nearby churchyard. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Claire and this is The Wanderlust Way. Firstly, let me say thank you to everybody that supports this channel by liking, watching, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Honestly, everything that you're doing is helping this channel to grow, and for that I am really grateful. So today I am in Lancashire doing a hotel review for you, but funnily enough, when I checked in, I realised that this place actually has a fascinating historical story to tell. So join me, if you please, on a hotel review added in with a history story. All right then, that's enough waffle, let's wander. Mellor, deriving its name from the Celtic word moel, meaning bare hill, is perfectly situated just 8 miles east of Preston. This prime location offers easy access to local market towns and a plethora of attractions. Our home for this journey is the Millstone at Mellor, a delightful 17th century coaching inn that seamlessly blends historic charm with modern comforts. But before we check in for all that, let's take a hike, work up a bit of an appetite for that Sunday lunch, shall we say. So if you come and follow the public trail in Mellor, if you're looking for something outdoorsy to do, oh sorry it's so windy, then you can come to this Millennium Viewpoint, which we've done. And if you come on a nice cold February day, you can experience it in all its beauty. Just a short stroll from the hotel, you can find something called the Millennium Viewpoint, which sits on the moortop here at Mellor. The internet tells us that on a clear day, there are fantastic views of the surrounding countryside, including the Peak District landscape, the River Goyt, the remains of Torvale Mill, and on a clear day, even distant hills like the Kinder Scout area. Essentially, it's a panoramic view of the valley below, with notable landmarks like Mellor Cross on Cobden Edge nearby. The Millennium Disc, which was erected here in 2002 as part of the village's celebrations, acts as a marker to guide walkers on the moor to the spot. It was a gorgeous view, albeit a bit windy on that day, but what caught my attention the most was not what was on the horizon, but rather what lay underneath our feet. Fascinatingly, this modest hill of 223 metres has a defunct Royal Observation nuclear blast and fallout monitoring station from the Cold War era. Now, I've read since that it's a fairly large underground bunker built in the 1950s, but it's since been sealed. Although no doubt claustrophobic, the personnel working down there would be playing a crucial role in reporting on radiation levels in the event of a nuclear attack. I believe this is one of 1,500 dotted around the country from the later period of the Cold War. It's intriguing and certainly not something I was expecting to find on this brisk Sunday walk. What is it about underground bunkers that some of us history geeks find so fascinating, I wonder? Do we have anybody else watching who takes an interest in these sorts of things? Let me know in the comments. Mellor has got my attention already, but the breeze is brisk, so let's head back and take a look at our room. Let me do you a little room tour of this room. We are in room number 32. As you enter the room, this one's a double. So we have, you know, usual stuff. Bed. Lady reading the menu, choosing what he's having. Yeah, I actually really like this wallpaper. Look at it. Yes.
I bet it was dear.
I bet it was dear, yeah. Now, everything's been done to a very, very fine standard, I must say. There's a fan, obviously, for summer. There's an iron. There's an ironing board. Tea caddy. There's a very nice phone. Don't know if it works. There's a dialing tone. Must work. Not just for decoration. So what have we got here on this little tea caddy? Well, Adi spotted these. They're handmade biscuits. These are so cute. But what does it say here? Hand-baked biscuits. Right, I'll try that in a second. Then you've got Horlicks. I had that for a long time. Galaxy hot chocolate. We've got some Twinings English breakfast and Taylor's English breakfast, and then a decaf, and then some coffees as well. Very nice. And then over here there is a bottle of water, which has been branded. Another little tray. The view. I forgot. It's in a sort of village location, so it's not a tremendous amount to do in the actual village, but plenty going on in the outskirts. Visitors to the hotel have a wide variety of places to explore nearby, including the town of Clitheroe. I also discovered there was a leaflet in the room that reminds us we're around 18 miles from Pendle Hill, which you may have seen in my previous video about the Pendle Witches. And there's also Whaley Abbey, which is around 8 miles away, and a Roman museum in Ribchester, which is only around 6 miles away. So there's lots in this local area. But if you're happy to hike, then there's also some stunning walks nearby, including the Tolkien Trail, which allows you to explore the gorgeous environments enjoyed by the Lord of the Rings writer when he spent time here at Stonyhurst College during the Second World War. And if you've got a dog who you also like to share your walks with, then this is the perfect time to add that the Millstone at Mellor is dog friendly too. It's ticking a lot of boxes, this one, guys. It is a Sunday, so we are going to sample Sunday lunch. We do have a television, and then the bathroom I've just checked out was absolutely gorgeous. So look at this. Huge shower, absolutely massive shower. And then there are some White Company toiletries that you can use. And then let me have a look. Is there a hook on the back of the door? There is a hook on the back of the bathroom door. And this one is probably the nicest hook on the bathroom door that I've seen out of all the hotel reviews. Right, let's check out these biscuits. I've not even took my coat off and I'm straight in at the biscuits. I think it's going to be like a shortbread. Well, it's worth coming here just for the biscuits. These are like what your grandma would make. Lovely. Right then, so I thought I would show you what they sell drinks-wise in the bar. It looks like they've got quite a lot of Thwaites on draft. But funnily enough, we went into the cemetery earlier and there was a massive tomb, wasn't there, for a Thwaites family. So I'm wondering if there might be a connection here. They've got loads of Thwaites ales. Then they've got one with pineapple and mango. That sounds interesting. That's a Thwaites draft one. They've got ciders, they've got wines, starting from 24 quid a bottle. Looks like they've got quite a few 0% things, because I know there's a lot of our viewers that don't drink. And it is becoming more popular, this 0% stuff. So they've got a 0% Guinness, which is just like actual Guinness. If you haven't tried it, give it a try. They've got the Tanqueray gin in 0%. So we're going to go down to the bar and we're going to try some drink. Oh, Ada, you might like this. They've got a 0% cocktails, 0% mojito. It's a bit colder outside for a mojito. Anyway, we're gonna have dinner tonight, which is going to be a Sunday lunch. We are booked in for breakfast. We've just upgraded to that, so we'll have a little test out the breakfast for you in the morning. But so far, so good. Really nice, clean hotel in a very nice, picturesque countryside location.
The hotel website tells me that the Millstone has been part of Thwaites pubs for many years. But in 1980, it became the cornerstone of Thwaites moving into hotels. Back then, the company chairman had the idea to transform the building, which back then charged £11 a night and had rooms with no baths or showers, into one of the finest hotels in the area. Ada just working out whether Mr. Thwaites is the Mr. Thwaites. Do you think it is, Ada?
Daniel Thwaites was an English brewer and politician who founded the brewery Blackburn in 1807.
Well, there we go. Oh, well, I will show you the grave then.
The founder of the Thwaites.
The Millstone boasts an AA Rosette restaurant, which the website tells me champions local producers. It was certainly busy with Sunday lunch diners when we arrived, so that was a good sign. So my top tip for this is to book a table in advance. In the end, we both opted for a traditional roast beef dinner, which was excellent, full of flavour, perfectly cooked, and with a decent Yorkshire pudding on top. After this experience, I'm going to say this place is worthy of those good reviews and I would return. We ended the meal by sharing a cheese board because, well, I just love to eat things that'll give me nightmares before bed. But thankfully there was something provided in the room that helped aid a good night's sleep if you also have the cheese board and you are also prone to nightmares. Oh, what's this? I spotted this. Hey. Oh, look, it's an eye thing. And earplugs. I mean, I think it's pretty quiet here anyway, but this is a bonus. Feel super, super relaxed now.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you.
Breakfast here included a cold buffet complemented by a table service menu. I opted for the Eggs Benedict, which is one of my favourite things to order, and I can attest that it was absolutely delicious, and they allowed me to swap the ham for bacon. There was no problems whatsoever. They were so accommodating. It was a quiet and peaceful morning in that breakfast room. I don't think they had a full house with guests, but I did give me a chance to admire the patio doors, which I imagine they open up on a summer's day. I bet it's absolutely glorious. So, with a hearty breakfast inside, we must get on with the rest of our day. But before we do that, let me take you to the grave of Daniel Thwaites and tell you about why he was such an important figure in the world of beer.
Now, I came into the cemetery yesterday and I spotted this grave, only because it stands out really from the rest of them. And funnily enough, it's connected to the hotel we were staying at. So I thought, wow, that's really amazing. Quite a clever, interesting story and a little bit of history about people, which, you know, I love all the social history. So, I'll see if you can spot it. See if you can see which one caught my eye. Okay, so you might think it's that one with the big needle. Well, that did catch my eye. So I was walking over here
And as I was walking through, I then started to spot this sort of rose-coloured one. I thought that's quite interesting. And then, what was even more interesting, it was the names. And I realised that this was the Thwaites grave. So we've got Daniel Thwaites, Eliza Thwaites, Eliza Amelia, wife of Daniel Thwaites, and Edward George Duckworth Thwaites, son of D&E Thwaites. So I'm going to do a little bit of family history and see if I can learn a little bit more about it. If, like me, you didn't know the story about Daniel Thwaites up until today, then let me indulge you in a little bit of history. Daniel Thwaites was born on the 15th of August 1817 at 32 Cleaver Street in Blackburn. He was one of 12 children born to Daniel Thwaites Sr. and Betty Duckworth. His father, which you've probably noticed was also called Daniel, died in 1843 at the age of 66 years, and he left his property to his sons and daughters, and this included a brewery. As time passed, the other brothers dropped out, and it left Daniel the sole proprietor. This was a huge success. Daniel was clearly a very good businessman. He expanded the business immensely, and the company's turnover and profit grew rapidly in his hands. Thwaites Brewery saw hundreds of tenanted pubs appear all over the country selling their craft beers. Shire horses would be used to deliver their ales, and the company has a really rich heritage story, which I'm sure they're quite proud of. If you have a memory of Thwaites beers or the brewery, then feel free to share it in the comments. I'm sure we'd all love to learn a little bit more. But amidst all this, Daniel married Eliza Amelia Gregory, and together they had 2 children, Edward George Duckworth Thwaites, who died just a few months old in 1861, and a daughter, Elma Amy. Now, Elma would be the one to inherit the Thwaites Brewery business on the death of her father. She was on her honeymoon tour when she received the news of his death, and that was in 1888. But at that point, he is said to have racked up a fortune of £998,000, which would be well into the tens of millions of pounds in today's money. He left this entire empire to Elma, who was aged just 24 when she became proprietor of the Thwaites Empire. Elma was also left Woodfold Hall in Mellor, which was said to be one of the grandest houses in Blackburn's affluent West End. It was set in 400 acres of land and surrounded by a 9-foot high wall which was 4 miles long. It was said to be a most magnificent place, and it was Elma's home for many years. But sadly, in 1949, the contents of that hall were auctioned off and the roof was taken off soon after that. Following that, it deteriorated and eventually became derelict. I'm not sure if there's anything left of it. If you are local and you know, then feel free to comment. Now, Daniel, his wife and the son rest here in the churchyard at Mellor. They're perhaps keeping an eye on one of their establishments, the Millstone here. Who knows? The church is really beautiful, and Daniel Thwaites must have had quite a fondness for it, because in 1878 he paid for the clock in the tower and the bells. It's a fascinating story, and I'm pleased to have uncovered just a little bit of it on this trip, and it allowed me to be able to pay my respects, but to also learn a little bit more about this family's history. But do you have any more to add to the story? If so, I would absolutely love to hear it. Please let me know in the comments. So that's it. Thank you to everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next episode.